Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And hello, everybody out there. It's a pleasure to be out here to be able to speak with you. There are a few topics I'd like to touch on. And first of all, the Lansing protest. I was part of that protest. And for the most part, I think we were very productive on that. Most people stayed in their vehicles. We had really nice social distancing. But the media, of course, wanted to switch things around. So they were saying things like we had swastikas out there and, the Confederate flags, which I did see some of those. But I think for the most part, people are out there just to be peaceful, to let the governor know that we mean business at the same time that we want our rights. So our message, I think, was good. But we got to understand here that the media is going to try to twist this any way that they can. So this is the battle that we're sitting with, and every time we go out there, the media is going to say that we're the bad guys. So if we can go out there with, say, like flags that have the peace sign on them, it's going to be very, very hard for them to counteract what we're doing, because we're not out here to advocate violence. We're out here to advocate for our rights. So if we show up and the media is there, it's going to be very hard to spin this if we're actually saying, hey, we want to do a peaceful protest and we want to go along this and not have to fight. If that comes down to it way down the road, so be it. But we have to push for the peaceful resolution as much as we possibly can. Aside from that, there's going to be a protest in Madison. I'm going to do my very best to go out there to help out with the cause out in Madison, Wisconsin. So it should be very similar to the one that happened in Lansing. I do ask people to please social distance yourself, because that is nothing but more ammo for the opposition to use against us. So when they show videos and stuff on CNN or MSNBC or whatever, we don't want to give them any ammo to use against us whatsoever. We want to show up and say, hey, we're practicing social distancing. At the same time, we want our rights back. So we want to practice our safety for our common man as well as get our rights. So a few other points I want to make, guys. Virginia is absolutely under attack right now. They just passed red flag law, and the rest of the United States should be looking at this because, guys, some of these states, yeah, we're on the front lines, but Virginia is absolutely under attack. And what they're doing here is they're trying to make it to where they can eventually just take these guns back. They don't want they're just in the beginning steps of this, and we're under attack, and we have to start pushing back now. Not only are we going to push back to say, hey, we want it the way it used to be, we want more rights. We don't want all of these laws to stop us from buying guns. Like in Virginia, they said, oh, you can buy one gun a month. That is absolutely ridiculous. Since when are we putting these mandates on our rights? That is absolutely ridiculous. And if we don't start pushing back now, we're going to lose ground on the battlefield. And this is a different type of battlefield as well. This isn't something that like Gettysburg or something like that. This is a whole new world of socializing through these technological devices. Which brings me to my next point. They're stopping people from going to church. And I know a lot of people here are Christians or they're Catholic, and I respect that, absolutely. I can't say I'm part of any religion myself, but I am definitely a God-fearing man, I tell you that. I think that God's word is definitely the way to go. They're stopping people from going to church because of this outbreak. And be that as it may, that you want to make things safe, that should be a huge red flag to everybody, that they want you to stay home rather than practice your own religion. So what I'm getting at here is they're just starting this at the beginning right now, and it's only going to get worse. And if we don't speak out and act against this, it's just going to be an uphill battle going forward. Our technological devices this is my own personal opinion here, guys. These technological devices that we're using for social media and stuff are great. It's a great tool. But what they do is they're tearing the social fabric that we have as a community apart. And by them stopping us from going out and actually going to church or to just going to meetings, they're not trusting us to practice this stuff safely as adults and as United States citizens. So they're trying to just pressure us to not do anything at all. And that right there is going to split our social fabric even more. And that's what we need now more than ever. So obviously the opposition are very gung-ho on taking our guns. I think that there is a huge majority of the United States population that are very ignorant on what is happening right now in the government. So what we need to do is we're trying out right now, guys. This is the beginning stages. This is going to get a lot worse as time goes on. And if we can show off and show up to show the people that haven't really chosen a side and show them like, hey, we want peace, but we also want our rights. When our forefathers wrote the Constitution, they wrote the Bill of Rights, and these Bill of Rights are pillars to stop evil from coming in. And these pillars are starting to get broken down. The way the human species is right now, as intelligent as we think that we are, we don't know much about anything at all when it comes to actually who we are, where we came from. And for us to tear these pillars down that stop evil from coming in, it's going to do nothing but make it to where we don't know what we're doing in the future. I'm sorry. What we're going to do is losing my train of thought here, guys. This is very new to me, this whole live stuff, guys, so stay with me. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just trying to stop these pillars from being broken down. We're not intelligent enough to break these pillars down and just hope for the best. We can't do that. We need to have a plan in hand to see exactly how this will benefit us in the future before we tear any of these pillars down that have done nothing but work for us since 1776. So let's figure things out and then we can move forward. But we need to find that common ground with these people that are very much in the middle. These pillars are everything that we need to survive as the United States, not only the United States, but the entire world in general. Now, mind you, I'm not one of these experts that there's some people on here that are very intelligent that are going to be speaking today. I am just a regular guy, and I do form my own opinion. A lot of people have told me that I share a similar opinion to them, and I thank you for that, and I hope that I can get the word out to everybody on that. I think I do have a pretty good understanding about union workers, though. Although I am a 2A guy, I'm definitely a union guy as well. And when it comes to the unions, our union representatives want to tell us, hey, we're going to back this candidate or that candidate. And for a very long time, we have blindly just said, hey, you know what? Blue's the right way to go, and no matter what. But the way that things are going now, with the way blue's going, with Mr. Joe Biden, I don't like that. Our unions are still trying to push for Joe Biden to be the president of the United States when he is actively trying to take our rights away. So I think it's time for our union men that are individuals to speak up, not only on social media, but at your union officials. Let them know, hey, I'm not going to stand for this because I'm an American before I was ever part of this union. It is time to stand up and let your voice be heard to these people. That's what I'm going to be pulling for more than anything, guys. Unions stick together. No matter if you're an iron worker, electrician, pipe fitter, tin knocker, millwright, carpenter, everything. There's so many unions, Teamsters. You guys are doing a great job, by the way. We all have to come together because there is a revolution happening right now. And if we don't start spinning our wheels right now to take off, we're not going to do it later on. So right now, talk to your BAs, talk to your delegates, tell them that we will not stand for it. And if you know what, be that as it may, because I'm not left or right, tell them that you don't want Joe Biden. Get a different Democrat up there to push for stuff that's not going to be taking our rights away, our God-given rights. They have pushed the envelope way too far, and it's time for the unions to unite once again and to speak up for the average American citizen. So I'm glad I got that off my chest. So guys, there's some other points I'd like to make too. The history repeats itself. What the opposition is doing right now is they're doing things that Hitler did back in World War II. This is playbook what he did. It's propaganda, and what they're doing is they're slowly making things happen to where you get used to them over time. So it's just like what you learned in high school. You put the frog in the beaker and you pour boiling water on that frog, the frog's going to jump out. But if you slowly raise that water to a boil, the frog will sit there and boil to death. That's what they're trying to do. But right now, with the election underway, they're trying to speed that process up. And Virginia is a prime example of that. So what we can do to move along with this, to actually push the envelope, is one, to communicate with each other. But you cannot preach to the choir here. We have to reach out. If just one person a day or even one person a week, reach out to somebody that is completely ignorant about the subject, about what's going on in the real world with our politics, because we have to wake these people up and let them know and see what's happening, because their lives are going to change just like ours. And although we are going against the opposition here, I believe that they are, what can I say, uneducated on what's actually happening. And although they are opposition, they are still our brothers and sisters, and they're just ignorant on the subject, and we're here to save them as well. We are facing a tyrannical government. It is upon us. And we have been talking about this for a long time, since 1776, about tyrannical governments and how we have to stop them from pushing their motive onto the American people. But the time is upon us, and it's a time for us as American citizens to stand up and push back. And we're going to start pushing back again at Madison, Wisconsin. I believe that is next week, and I'm going to do my best to be there, by the way. Okay, so I addressed unions. I don't know if my time is running out or not. Let's see. I got a bit push back. Sorry, guys. I am new to this. Okay, I wanted to talk about Mindy Robinson. Mindy Robinson is going to be on the show later, guys. She is a huge advocate for the 2A and our rights, and she is running for Congress. I'm going to tell you guys right now, she definitely has my vote. She's very well spoken, and she's definitely for the cause. So if you guys want to check her out, go ahead. The government right now is also trying to push us to be governed by more government. And what they should be doing is they should be listening or telling the American people, hey, there is a pandemic going on, and we need your help to slow this curve down. And trust the American people to do what is right for our peers, because nobody at the Lansing protest wants to go out there and possibly get sick and give it to someone else at home. Nobody wants that. But if we're going to give up our safety, give up our rights for our safety, what is the point? Are we just going to hope that the government is going to give back our rights? We can't let that happen. We got to start now and push the envelope on our rights, as well as being safe doing it. So guys, at the one in Madison, let's wear masks, gloves if you can. Let's keep a 6-foot distance. And if you guys have any peace signs along with "Don't tread on me," the American flag, get out of office, guys, it's going to make the media work so much harder to make us look like we're the bad guy. We need to bring the people in the middle on our side and educate them and work together on this, guys. Compassion is going to get us a long way to go. We're going to be doing really well if we do this with compassion and not aggression. Also, at the Lansing protest, there were some people that are anti-protesters there. There was a little bit of a scuffle there. Guys, we're out here to say, hey, don't tread on us. Although we do not agree with the opposition, they have just as much right to be there to protest against us as we do them. We need to protect their rights as well as ours. Although we don't see eye to eye, we are all Americans, and we need to show up that we're able to listen to each other regardless of what they are saying. So make sure that we keep our hands to ourselves. And if you guys don't agree with it, just walk the other way, let them do their thing. And if they make a disturbance, let the authorities handle that. We have to be the peacemakers out here, guys. I believe my time is almost up. So I would like to tell you guys, if you guys would like to see what's happening on my end, I'm going to be going to these protests and stuff. We're going to keep this movement going. Please follow me on Jerry Wayne AR14. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and I do have a YouTube that's being developed right now. And what I'm going to be doing with this YouTube is I'm going to give the average American citizen a voice. So if you guys want to come on there and you have something to say, I believe a lot of you have amazing ideas. And I think it's time for the average American person to be heard. So please join the cause. Keep listening to Jeff Dornick on here and the guests that he has. They're doing an outstanding job. And it's time for us to stick together and to move forward on this, guys.